Mike, I'm smelling you here. I'm just making sure all the stench from Indiana and that Penn State offense is off of you. That was a stinky performance by the offense for Penn State. I took a nap during the game. I never do that. Let me ask you, as bad as that offense was for Penn State, compared to previous seasons, when was the last time you saw an offense at Penn State that bad?
Well, I think we're at 2004 levels, which was that was a really bad Penn State team, but it was an excellent defense and a horrible offense, and the defense would keep them in games, and the offense couldn't do anything to win them. And this is similar to that, although I think this team has more offensive talent in every area except the O-line. So it's frustrating in that sense if you're a Penn State fan. But yeah. So that's a decade. Yeah.
And that defense had a great linebacker and Posnowski, and then it's got Hall here now.
Yep.
There are some very good comparisons.
Yep.
You know, there's been stories out there this week, and James Franklin talked about in his press conference. Is it the scheme not matching up with the players? So I want to ask you that. Does the scheme match up with what the personnel they have here? He said yes.
He believes that it does match up with the players. I think more specifically what he believes is that their scheme is not that much different from what they did last year. I see some differences, and I think if Bill O'Brien was coaching this team, it would be a different scheme than they had last year.
Yeah.
Because I think this is that's what's called for with this team. But you know what? I mean, again, when you can't block people and when you're consistently in bad down and distance situations, and he talked about this a lot yesterday, and he's right about this. You know, you jump off sides and it's 1st and 15, and you're limited already. Now you're really limited, and now teams can do things defensively based on that down and distance situation. So there's been a lot of that. They've been really bad on first down, a lot of penalties on first down, and that has exacerbated everything.
Sure, but you're down the goal line, and you didn't once throw to any of your tight ends, and you've had good tight ends the last couple of years. Jesse James is 6'7", is going to get drafted in the pros and be a very good player.
And we're
screen out. I watched Jimmy Graham in the pros. Basically, boxed out somebody and got the ball. These big tight ends, and they didn't even throw to the tight ends down at the goal line. I just don't get it.
Yeah, we're talking about a really embarrassing sequence in the game where they had a 1st and goal on the 8, and they got a pass interference call. Then they got an offsides penalty, 1st and goal at the 2, and then they went backwards on 3 straight plays. And then Indiana blocked the field goal. They ran 6 snaps after 1st and goal at the 8 and had 2 penalties on Indiana and got no points out of it, which is, as I wrote the other day, that seems like it ought to be almost mathematically impossible, but it happens. The goal line is a bad. The goal line is a bad mess.
I've got to ask about that. There was 6 plays after they were at 1st and goal, and they couldn't get anything out of it. Now, Christian Hackenberg had a great year, Big Ten Freshman of the Year. We saw some amazing things out of it. We saw some amazing things at the very beginning of this season.
Yep.
Has he regressed from last year to this year, and even from the beginning of this season to right now?
Well, his performance has regressed. Whether it's because his skills are he's developing bad habits, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think that'd be tough to prove. And he doesn't seem like he has the pocket presence that he once did. He doesn't seem like he has the patience. He doesn't seem like the game is moving slow the way these guys always talk. None of that stuff seems like it was as good as it used to be, but how much of that is because they can't block anybody? And I would argue that he, to some extent, he maybe has not handled that as well as he should have, but that's really the big thing. The big thing is they keep getting killed up front.
That's why you put him in shotgun and let him go no huddle so the defense
Well, but even that sometimes.
Yeah. Let's bring up the defense. You said how we talked about 04. How good are they this year?
I think last week was their best performance to date. One of the best running backs in the country, Tevin Coleman for Indiana. They shut him down. I think it's an athletic defense. It's an increasingly deep defense. Very well coached, very creatively coached by Bob Shoop. And I think right now this is a great defense, one of the best in the country.